better. You know, there's a feeling that when a woman who is breastfeeding, especially if she's a narrow, is found stealing somebody's bottle, you say, oh, but you know I have to feed them alone. You are still a thief, you know. So, we should not use poverty. Instead, what we are trying to do is to show you how you can use your existing resources, the natural resources that you have, to actually get out of poverty. People have been chopping down their forests because they didn't see any value in those forests. What we are saying is that what you have is value. If you remember, those of you who participated in some of the work that a gentleman called Robert Esimu did with you, he used to work for NFA. He came and he went to your forest, didn't stop taking exercise. He was asking you, do you know how much timber there is in a tree like this? You say yes. How much do you sell it? Some of you are saying, oh, you know, 20,000. Say 20,000. And you go to him and tell us how much a plant costs. And you tell him the cost. And he will show you that actually what you've been doing is undervaluing what you have. You have a tree which is maturing, and maybe if you give it another 5, 10 years, it will, you know, but you chop it down for example. So you are undervaluing the resources you have. If you have a forest, it is wealth. And I think we should work together to make sure that we realize that wealth from the things that you have. Issue of vermin, that one is a tricky one. Vermin obviously lives in forests. There are certain things which local government does. Vermin are those animals that are gazetted. And those include baboons, barbet monkeys, wild pigs, but not chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are not vermin. No, they cannot become until they are gazetted. They are problem animals, but they are not vermin. So you cannot go and kill a chimpanzee in the name of the chimpanzee eating your crop. Actually, you are committing a crime. Chimpanzees are a globally threatened species, and we are not permitted to just kill them like that. But people don't know that. So there are ways we need to deal with the vermin. Vermin can be shot, can be speared when you find them in your garden. You can kill a baboon, you can kill a barbet monkey. And the district vermin guard can actually come and help you. Now when it comes to problem animals, like a chimpanzee, we have to find other ways of dealing with them. Now that is a long-term solution. There is no easy solution. Because you see, these animals are also highly intelligent. You can't just come up with one strategy and say, it's going to control them. You can't just say you're going to scare them. You can't put a scarecrow. You have to have a variety of approaches. And that's a long-term thing. By engaging, we can begin to look at various options. One of the options we've been thinking about in some areas, it can't be applied widely, is changing, dropping the crop types which people grow, going for those which are not attractive for the chimps. At one time we were even thinking of things like chili. The problem with that is that we have to have a ready market for those products. So until we are sure that somebody is going to buy that chili, we cannot come and encourage you to grow chili. These chimps don't like chili. Not many animals like chili anyway. The problem is, suppose you grow an acre of chili and you can't sell it, what do you do with it? You know, if it was maize, you'd say, well, if nobody buys the maize, at least I can eat it. But if it is chili, what do? You are stuck with it. So we have to be very careful there in some of these crops. The others which are talking about, soybean, onions, but all those things need a bit of investigation. But we need to work together to see the problem animal issue and how we can solve it. There's the issue of gaps in funding. JGI should continue the meetings. JGI should support livelihood options. JGI should put money in circles. All those are very good ideas. The trouble is, JGI does not have those resources. I told you before that we'd like to stay in an area for 10 years, but we can't, just because you get a grant for 3 years. And then you begin looking for another grant. But you heard my vice president here say that when we come to an area, we are there to stay for a long time, because we realize that you need to engage people for a long time in order to have impact. So much as we may not have funds immediately, does not mean that we have disappeared completely. It means we are looking for funding to come back. Now, this idea of putting money in a circle, I don't think it's a very good idea. It is an idea that came up recently. But if people knew the meaning of the word circle, they would know that nobody puts money into a circle except the members of the circle. They are the ones who put money in it, they are the ones who borrow money from it and make money from the income. But this business